Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations.
The world is wide. Let's make it closer. With smart planning and a touch of magic, Ash knows travel. Welcome to the future of travel. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight's training is all about how I built multiple income streams with travel. I'm going to break down the different ways income can come from this business. I think this is a topic that we all need to learn about for sure. How they layer together, and honestly, beyond just one stream, so your business can grow in a more sustainable way. So if you're live here, you already know what to do. Go ahead and comment hello for me so that I know that you're here. And if you happen to be catching this on a replay, still go ahead and comment. I want to know that you're here as well. So go ahead and comment replay so that I know that you stopped by. And before we dive in, of course, I want to go ahead and let you guys know and remind you that tomorrow we're actually going to be hosting a 2 leaders, 1 session, and I'm bringing on the most fabulous Miss Courtney Palladino. So make sure that you guys, of course, are going to be here tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST to get in on that session. All right. Now, of course, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about how I built multiple income streams with travel. And we're going to talk about real strategies that you guys can implement with real timelines. I'm not going to get on here and be like, we're going to do this now. Nope, we're not doing that. And honestly, what I'm teaching you guys is something that you can honestly build to last you throughout your travel career. This is going to be like a layered training, so you're really going to like it. So first off, why am I teaching this? I get this question a lot is, why aren't you teaching us about income streams? And I feel like the reason I never covered it before is because I wasn't as confident in it. And now I am. Like now I can easily talk to you about different income streams. So I feel like that is why I'm going to approach it tonight. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing about travel. The most beautiful part about being in the travel industry. Travel is never meant to be just one income stream. There's so many different ways for you to make income in travel. And the more you learn, it's just another way for you to make income. And I absolutely love that about the travel industry. Now, I'm going to tell you guys that this training alone is going to be like a category. I'm not going to break it down by exact blueprints because there's not ever a way to monetize something. Like you all have to find your own kind of path for that specific monetization. But I'm going to explain to you guys like how you guys can monetize on travel so you guys know that there's different options than just booking travel, right? And this in general, guys, I just want to say before I start, is built to educate you on the different ways to make income. This is not meant to overwhelm you. So I don't want you to watch this and be like, I got to do all of this right now. No, please no. Just like every leader that you run into and you learn from, we all have our own paths and we've all built those paths to be who we are now. I didn't start this way. I don't ever want to make it seem like I just built this overnight. No, I've been in this business for 3 years. But I feel like if someone would have told me this earlier, I think I would have been maybe more successful than I am now. So I am doing my part as your travel trainer that you know and love to go in and educate you guys all the different ways that you can truly make income off of travel. So before I start, like I said, this is not hype. This is not overnight. And this is about strategy, putting it in order, and then longevity that we're going to build from it. So, what does multiple income streams really mean? Okay. In order to be able to build a multiple kind of income stream business in general, it has to have a very solid foundation that it can feed off of. Now, can we all confidently say, for those who have been attending my trainings for like especially the last week, do we all feel like we're learning more about a foundation? I feel like I've been trying to teach you guys that, so I hope that's what you all are learning. Of course, you're commenting yes. But I try to set up a really good foundation for you guys because I have found myself backtracking so many times within my 3 years of, trying to make sure I have the proper foundation. So that was my goal, especially in the beginning of the month, was to set that foundation so you can go in and start building on the things that we're going to teach on. So, first thing that you really have to have is a foundation. Now, multiple income streams typically means that there's different layers that lay within that, right? These are what I call intentional layers. So it's not meant to be the main income, but it's going to be another way that I can pull income. It's going to be a layer to it. Then, of course, that income, since we're building it, that income is going to compound over time. So maybe it might not become the main source, but it's going to become a higher source of income as I feed more into it. That's the idea, okay? Like, I'm never going to sit here and be like, all right, guys, you saw me do it. Now go be a YouTube creator. No, it's not going to work. Absolutely not. The only reason I was even able to do something like this is because I built it off of the income stream I already have, which is booking travel, right? So I'm going to cover all of that tonight, but I just want to set like the proper, foundation and like how you guys can understand how this is built, because I don't want you to just think that you could just, all right, I'm starting to book travel. Now let's go monetize. Like, now let's build into that. Okay. It's what I'm trying to get to. So let's cover the first part. The foundation is the main part of how we make money as travel agents and how I make money, because this is about me tonight. Okay. But how do I make my main source of income? I always leave it the foundation of travel bookings, because that's what we're supposed to do as travel agents, right? So we have client bookings, we have the supplier commissions if we're doing the client bookings, like, the instant commission. Then we have the suppliers paying us. And then, of course, we're going to have referrals and repeat business that are going to come as layers to that, okay? But the main source of income, of course, and the engine behind everything that we do as travel agents is travel booking, right? Can we all agree on that? Now, the reason I teach it this way is because I don't want you guys to ever lose focus of what your main purpose is as a travel agent. Now, can we do other things with it? Yes, but it all is going to circulate back to travel bookings. Okay, so that's the foundation of it. So, why travel is a powerful base? Well, honestly, it's a high ticket opportunity. There's a great way to go in there and make income. It's an evergreen industry, so that means it's always kind of changing. We can kind of set it up to be, yes, it's the same thing, but we have multiple things that we can book in it. We have multiple ways to book it. Like, it has a set to it, but yet it has a way to change, right? Then also, it's powerful because it's relationship driven income. It's not something that, it comes from like a product. Like, we're not selling a product, right? We're selling travel, and that has to be definitely relationship driven income. That is a very powerful base, because we can always build a new relationship with someone, right? We can always talk to somebody else. There's always another way for us to market this. So, starting with that one, obviously that's number one, right? Client bookings. So, I personally book resorts, cruises, tours, and short trips. Those are my most common four that I book. Now, I do take this a little bit deeper, okay, as we go, but this is the main source, right? So, I'm always going to teach you guys systems over hustle, because you can hustle better when you have a system. Yes. And then I'm going to tell you another thing that we don't really ever talk about. Experience is what creates the leverage in the travel industry. So the more you book things, the more your content is going out, the more you get experience, the better it gets. I can tell you that. So, like, the one thing I preach about is A lot of you guys like get frustrated because it doesn't work right away and you want to give up or you want to do something different. No, I promise you, just hold out. I promise you. Listen, if I were to go back and talk to my first year self, there were so many things that I would do differently, yes. But the one thing that I always did was show up. That's why I'm still here, because I still show up. That's it. All right. So, no more preaching. Sorry. Number 1, client bookings. Okay. Number 2, the second layer of my main income source, how I build and travel, is my repeat clients. Yeah. Those repeat clients help me so much between the spaces. They fill the spaces of my new clients. So, the reason I talk about it as being a second income stream is because a lot of you guys miss it. And I've went over this now. Okay, I've taught you guys a welcome home system so you can build into your repeat clients. If you need that, let me know. I'll give you the training. It's right at the top of my YouTube channel. And you know what? I'm going to take this second. Hold on. Let me talk about something really quick because I get this question a lot. I'm going to change pages real quick. So a lot of you guys always ask me about where you can see all of my trainings. YouTube is horrible about listing them in order, and I know that. So listen, if you go to ashknowstravel.com, okay, you can't probably see the link, but it's ashknowstravel.com, and it has the latest episode. That's the last thing that's ever been recorded on my channel is right here, okay? Then it's also going to have my just direct link to my YouTube, so you guys can go there. Has my TikTok here. Like I have everything in order for you guys. Okay. Then I have, look, this is the last real video I probably posted. But they're not really in order here. But you guys can see the top videos right here. So that way it's not like, all right, let me go deep search. You don't have to do that in here, and you can actually view all of my videos in here. But basically what I'm trying to say is if you guys get lost in the sauce and you need to find something of mine, just go to my website. It's easy to. You don't have to search in YouTube. Of course, if you want to search in YouTube, you can, okay? But I just want you guys to get a rough idea of this is where I can go to find things, okay? Because I know I have a lot, okay? But I'm working on the next thing I'm actually working on that site, which will be up soon, is going to be categories. So I'm going to break it down by categories. Like I'm building it, but it's a lot to build. And if you want to know how to build a website, join me next month because I'm going to teach you how to build one. Yeah, I got a lot of good things for next month. You're really going to like what I cover here. So anyways, back to what we're doing. Okay. So income stream number 2. The reason I like that is because it's the easiest one for me to book. You guys always want to find new clients, but listen, my repeat clients, they're way easier. They're predictable. I know how much income I have. I know their likes. I know their dislikes. I know what they like to, pay for. So I know what to include in the prices, like all of that. They're way faster about deciding because they're comfortable with me. They trust me. They know how to book. And then it's way less marketing because all I have to do is just share the prices. Sometimes with my repeat clients, I just send them screenshots. I don't even go all out. Here's a screenshot. Here you go. Book it. Have a great day. Right? Perfect. Love that. Now, number 3, the next layer to that. And I built into this, okay? I started with booking my travel. Then I started booking my repeat clients. And then I took it further. I started booking groups and events, particularly weddings. I love destination weddings. They are so much fun to plan, and they're a lot of fun to just have like that relationship built, and it can bring you a lot of repeat clients. The first one I ever booked was on a cruise, and then I booked a lot of Jamaica and Mexico, particularly Cancun. Like I booked a lot after, but the first thing that I really wanted to do was just get that booking underneath me, and I actually did my first group booking with a business partner / friend, another travel agent that was here. So it wasn't something I did on my own, but it is another good layer to add. If you are comfortable with booking like Vax, you guys can easily do group bookings in Vax. I don't just do weddings. I've done hockey teams or sports teams in general. It was a hockey team when I did it. I've done just business events before. Like these groups go in different settings, so you don't have to do just weddings. Okay, but that's what I did. So groups are super easy to book, but people get super scared about it too. Like, I don't know why you guys get scared about it. It's probably one of the easiest things to book, and there's so much income that comes from it. But I'm going to tell you something that also comes from it that we don't talk about with groups. 1, perks. There's a lot of perks that go in there, and a lot of times we can add an extra commission. Love that, right? Another thing that's really good about it is that it could basically creates like a referral generator. If you do really well, a lot of those same clients will use you again. And a lot of those same clients that do group travel are used to doing group travel, so they'll do more groups. Okay. So it's like a referral, like repeat kind of client generator for groups. And it does take it a little bit higher for group, like for the bookings, because it takes a little bit more time, but it's worth it, right? I promise you it's worth it. So groups and events. Book once and earn multiple times. We love that. Scalable workflows. And I want you guys to stop thinking of a group like overwhelming. I want you to think of it like this. This is like one of my best parts I think about when it comes to groups. I did all of this marketing effort for one booking, but it turned into 7 bookings. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to change that mindset, because then it's going to motivate you even more to kind of focus on groups, because there's so much money that goes into it, right? And even if you are mentoring and you have agents that book groups, listen, guys, that 10%, it's quite higher when we, like teach it to people. Don't be afraid to talk about groups, okay? Even for us mentors, it does great, right? Next, it increased revenue without increased hours. Yes, I agree. If you guys can get comfortable with booking rooms, you can easily book another group. Because like if you go on Bax and you use the group ease code, it's like booking the room, book the room, add the code, right? If you do a group contract, okay, we signed it, you guys go book on your own, or here's a website to book it on. Like, it's silly easy to do this. And if you do weddings, the reason why I got into weddings is because a lot of the vendors will actually pay you 10% for the wedding package too. So I'm telling you, there's money to be made. Okay. So that's number 3. Now, number 4, content and visibility. Content builds trust, and I consider it an income stream because it's how I pull my clientele. It is a part of my business. A lot of you guys make it to where it's like, oh well, I just have to market. I have to. No, it's a part of my business that makes income. And yes, I've turned it into monetization, which I'll cover further down the line, but it helps me get paid because I'm building trust by always showing up. I am visible, which creates opportunity for me to get more bookings, and I'm consistent, which means I'm not worried about always going viral. I'm always worried about, as long as I show up there, that viral and the right clients will come to you naturally. So it is considered a part of the income stream because I use it to what? Make income, right? And one second. I'm under the weather. Can you guys tell? Y'all see me coughing for the last 2 weeks. I'm so sorry. But anyways, the reason I consider it a part of my income stream is because I didn't take it very serious at the beginning. But once I started taking it serious, that's when the income really started flowing in when it came to booking. So I had to treat it separately. So I understood, okay, this is something that you have to do correctly. This isn't something that you just have to do. Because if I have to do it, I don't care about it. I'm just going to get it done, right? But that doesn't work when it comes to travel. You have to make your travel content stick. And I'm going to tell you something even further. If you guys are interested in how to make your content stick, join me on Thursday. I'm doing 5 monetization topics that you guys can cover. And those topics are going to be like what you can make money on. Okay. So I'll cover I'll cover this one on Thursday. But what I'm trying to get to is if you guys can separate it and then understand that it's something that you have to do strategically to make money, you can make income off of it. All right. Now, taking that a little bit further, we have the platform of monetization. On top of just posting content to get bookings, you guys can later on add it to getting monetized. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've been monetized on TikTok back in the day with my Travel with Ash account, and like it's not the same account that I use now. It doesn't pay very much. It's not like if you go live on there, it pays like I think the most I've ever made in a live was like a few dollars, but you have to like be consistent with it. If you really want to take it to like a whole level, it's not an easy platform to start with, but if you hit that right clients, the right base, like you can really build into that where you guys really start making income. Okay. So I feel like one of the easiest platforms to start with when it comes to monetization is going to be Facebook. All of us kind of get monetized after we start engaging with the platform. And it's the easiest to get paid. Now, The most I've ever gotten paid from when it comes to monetization is YouTube. But I'm going to tell you, it takes a lot of it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, a lot of uploading, a lot of it's like a full-time job, I feel like, when it comes to YouTube. So if you want to take on that hurdle, you can, because you have to get 4,000 watch hours before they even consider you for monetization, and then you have to get approved for it, and then they only approve you for certain types of monetization at first, and then it expands. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it, but it is now a really good income source for me after putting like 6 or 7 months into it. But it can be, definitely can, but you need to take your own path for it. And I'm going to explain that later on, because like you can't just go in there and be like, all right, now I'm going to monetize. Like you have to have like a niche basis for it to work. Okay. Now, that's going to go with the same platforms. Like whatever you guys, if you really want to get monetized, you need to take one idea and then push it consistently in order for it to get monetized. Like for example, like just talk about all inclusives, just that. Like there's a guy I just saw, his name is, I think it's like Daddy Floaty or something like that, like on TikTok, and he talks just about cruises, and his posts go viral all the time because he just talks about cruises. Like that's it. Like that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm easily monetized on YouTube, because I just talk about that. Like you guys can get monetized on any platform. You just have to be consistent with it and talk about the same thing over and over. Okay. So ad revenue, you guys can get paid for the ads that play during your stuff. You guys can also get paid for on YouTube, they pay both ways. So it's pretty nice. Creator monetization programs, we guys pretty much know mostly about those, right? Facebook, it just kind of happens when you start engaging. TikTok, the proper monetization requires 10,000 followers, but you guys can still get monetized early by going lives, like doing lives, posting content. It has to have so many views to get paid. But if you guys can get in there, then you can unlock certain things. Like right now, you probably see a lot of Group 7. Group 7 is for people who are already monetized, and they're getting paid to engage with each other. Like they're building each other up. So you guys can do that, okay? But you see the bottom line where I have supplemental income only? Yes. You will never hear me get on here and say, all right, guys, we're going to go get monetized. We're just going to get paid a ton. No, 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 no. It's, you can, yeah. But remember, travel has to be the basis here. Travel really needs to be the basis. And this needs to be just a supplement to, oh, I got paid extra, right? That's how I recommend it, because if not, it can be quite draining to be somebody who's monetized on a platform. Can we all agree? Okay. So, why does monetization work best as a layer? Because it rewards consistency. If you guys put too much pressure on it to be a main source, it's going to overwhelm you and you're going to get burned out. Also, one thing about monetization, it grows gradually. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that takes time to build. And for someone who's built it, I'll tell you, it's way better as a side hustle than a main kind of source, okay? Then it's going to support the existing efforts. So let's just say if you guys decide, all right, I'm going to go on TikTok and I'm going to get monetized for being a travel agent who just talks about tours. Okay, fine, right? You're going to be getting monetized for talking about tours, but you're also going to be getting clients from that. So what I mean is it's set up to support the existing effort of booking travel. You're going to get more bookings from that, right? So we need to make sure that it has that supporting effect. It's not meant to be like a main source, okay? Now, the second part to that, I put 4B because I feel like it kind of works together on this. We do have a great advantage in the travel industry that we can do affiliate and product-based income. When you get monetized on a platform at a certain point, when you start building the engagement, you guys are allowed to bring in like different products. You guys can bring in different links and advertising and stuff like that into your kind of ads or your post in general, right? So travel essentials do really good for this. Any work from anywhere tools, especially if you're team building and you want to start doing like, all right, this is what I use to make content. This is what I use, like that works good. Products clients already ask about. So if you're doing family travel, works really well for family travel. You guys can easily monetize off of that, right? Now, Affiliate income, of course, is going to be more like links. Affiliate links are great because they can do all the work, we get the income, right? We can all agree that's probably the best part about affiliate link. But the reason I like to talk about them is because a lot of us don't use them. Do we all use our affiliate links? I'm going to ask you that while I drink something. I know we don't. I struggle with my affiliate links, but I have found ways to work them in, and I feel like that's probably the best way to do it. You guys should be adding it to your post. I think a lot of us don't do that. Add it. You already have the link for it. Just put it on there. Especially if you do Virgin Voyages, let them go book the cruise, right? Now, affiliate income fits naturally because it's passive style income, so we already don't expect it. And it kind of works like an extra layer, like, oh, I got paid, right? It's low maintenance because we don't have to do anything to it. And it's trust based recommendations. So the reason I say trust based is because the affiliate link is from the vendor. So, like, this is the vendor's link, go book it yourself. Here's my recommendation, right? Like, that is way basically that we're giving it back to the vendor, but yet we're still getting paid. So, I like that layer. Yes. All right. Now, number 5. I like to talk about this one because a lot of us, we used to have this big shift where we used to talk about bringing on new agents all the time. And then I don't know what happened. And about a year or so ago, we kind of shifted away from it. And I don't know why. I think, guys, there is money to be made in that. And it's a waste if you don't. And let me tell you something, the most beautiful part about mentoring is you teach somebody something and then they're like super stupid successful with it. And it's like this feeling of like, I do this with you guys every day. Yeah. Okay, maybe you're not all underneath me, but I see you guys and I see you grow and I see you do like that feeling is one of the best feelings in the world. And there's such good karma that comes from helping other people. Can we all agree? So I feel like I should talk about this because there's just it's an income stream for me, yes, but it's also a good karma stream, I feel like. But let's talk. Okay, so mentorship and any type of training that you guys do, of course, needs to be built from experience. It grows as you guys become more credible, and it comes from trust and not what's trending, so it has a better like foundation to it. But you guys can always, of course, tap into mentorship. I know with us with Evolution, bring on 6 people, it kind of takes care of your monthly payment. Hello, that's all I had to do. That's all I like. And I started pretty early with mentorship because I know I'm meant to be a leader. Like, that's my role. And if that's not your role, that's fine. Don't do it. But if you're looking for a way to get rid of your monthly payment, why not? Like, we have a referral side of the business. Like, why not, right? And this is something that I kind of built into it, okay? And I want to throw it out there that you guys can see. It's a layer. It's not something that's the main source of income. It can't be. Some people like to go all the way up to platinum, etc., and then that can be a main source of income. But even those leaders all have the basis of booking travel. So even then, I don't think it's their main source, right? But you guys can, of course, tap into that number 5. So now I want to tell you something about that because I don't want to ever set the precedence that you need to start training and like sharing everything that you're doing, or you mentor somebody and you have to do everything for them. Like, you have to set a lot of boundaries when it comes to these types of monetizations, and you have to kind of build into them. Like, you're going to find, like, for example, when I started doing YouTube, it consumed me completely. And I had to set a boundary that was like, yo, like, this can't be a full-time thing. This has to be a layer to what I'm doing, right? Same thing when it comes to mentorship. I had to set a boundary and I was like, listen, I love you guys and I love teaching you guys, but I need time for myself and I need time for my own business and my own bookings, right? That's a boundary. So be ready to set a lot of boundaries when you start growing into multiple income streams. And on top of that, you don't have to share every system publicly. You don't have to teach them everything, okay? You don't have to mentor every single part of it. You are allowed to keep what is for you and still help other people. Like, the biggest thing that I always try to teach you guys is that, yes, copy people, but copy the right cat, as Charles Lee says. Also, when you're doing that, you have to make sure that you're still doing it in your own way, because people can tell when things are taken. People can tell when it's not natural, right? So make sure you always set a boundary, protect your value, And you can educate people without overexposing yourself and losing that leverage that you have as a travel agent, because we all have our own unique leverages that make us like the reason we want to book with people, right? So we need to keep that and keep that boundary always set for yourself. Okay. Now, how the income stream stacks. I feel like this is a little good coverage to get a rough idea of what we talked about, right? Travel builds the experience, the content brings you more visible while you're passing out your affiliates and building your passive layers, which would be monetization, training, leverage, consistency, all of that, right? But you can still see that travel is the real foundation of it. Now, here's the real timeline. If you're seeing this and you are new, I don't expect you to do this now. I just want you to know it's possible, because I didn't know it was possible. I didn't know that I could do all of this, and I wish somebody would have told me. So that's what I'm here for. All right. Early, when you first start out, you guys should be learning and just building your system. You need to have your system in place so that you guys can start booking people. Take those bookings, turn them into repeat clients, turn them into groups, turn them into whatever, right? That should be the early part. So if you're there, stay there for right now. It's okay to stay there as long as you need to until you're ready to move into the second part. Now I have my systems going. I'm posting consistently. I'm able to bring on affiliates. I'm able to bring on monetization. And then lastly, all of it's put together. And it should have like something here, but it's really hard to see. But it should say lasting, okay, at the end. You have that income now that's pulling from different locations because you've built it as you've went. Okay, that's the idea here. So, why do most people struggle when they see that? They skip the foundation. Please do not skip that foundation. Also, don't chase the trends. Like if you see somebody doing something and you're like, "Oh, I want to go do that too." That only worked for them because they came up with it on their own. I'm going to be honest with you. You might be able to have your 15 minutes with it, but it's not going to work until you make it your own thing. That's why all of these people are on YouTube doing different stuff, right? There's a reason for that. The reason is because they had to find their own path. Now, another part is you guys add those multiple income streams too early. I'm going to give you an example. I once tried to get to platinum. And ironically, I was talking to Courtney Palladino about this the other day. But I was telling her about how close I was. Yeah, I was 20 away from platinum. And then I realized I didn't have a foundation. And I added that stream too early. And guess what? It didn't work. It didn't. I got almost all the way there, and then I lost everything because I didn't have a foundation. And I made my way back. I'm getting there, right? But I'm just being real with you. Like, you can't go in there and start building onto trying to be a platinum when you don't even have your foundation set up. You can't go out there and monetize on a platform if you're just chasing trends or you're trying to do multiple streams in different areas. Like, you guys have to do the right order. So you have to learn the business. You have to start booking consistently, then build your systems because you're booking consistently. That's going to create enough visibility to where you're able to go in there and start laying your income and then building intentionally as you go. That way you're not backtracking to go, "Oh crap, I didn't send up my welcome home system. Let me go back in there." Like, no, you have everything in order. Okay. Now, one thing that I want to kind of take with this, okay, like let me go back because I don't want you guys to read it yet. But what I'm trying to say is that this is something that you guys can really build into a really beautiful like setup, but you guys have to take the time to really just sit down and understand what you're doing. And I go over a lot of different things that go into that, right? But you really just need to kind of sit down and change the mindset that you have for your business, so that way you can start saying, "Okay, well, I've completed this, now let's move on to that." If you don't have a mindset or an end goal of what you're trying to go for, it's gonna look real funny and it's gonna feel weird when it's building. Like, I listen to me. Like, I'm telling you this because I've went through this. So what you guys need to do is set up that foundation. Don't skip it, okay? And then you guys can start bringing in the bookings. If you're not getting a bookings, your foundation's not set up. It's not. There's something missing here in the foundation that's creating a loophole for you not to get clients. Okay, so talked about that system. Y'all get it set up. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave you with this. No packet tonight. Okay. There's not really a packet needed for this, but what I want you to understand is that what travel really gave me was flexibility to create these systems and to create this type of income. It gave me the control to do what I wanted when it came to that, right? And then also a lot of options and of course leverage that I've built over time. So that is really what it comes down to when it like the different types of monetization. That's my 4 types that I have the ability to go in and now make money off of, right? But what I'm trying to get to, and last thing I'll leave you guys with, is that you don't need to do everything. You don't need to have everything. You don't need to, be perfect, okay? But you have to have that right order set up. You have to build the foundations, and then the income that you guys are seeing with all of these leaders like me and all the other people, the reason we have that, guys, is because we showed up, because we were consistent. Because if it didn't work this way, I tried somewhere else, right? Now, of course, I have a pretty nice setup here, but that was built over time. And I really want you guys to just like get in the grind. You're building, you're going. And then when you look back 2 or 3 months, you're going to go, oh, yeah, I didn't have this before. This is nice, right? That's what I want you guys to get comfortable with. And I want you to now know that there's different ways you guys could make money off of travel. How do we feel about this? Huh? I feel like this has kind of broken it down so you guys can kind of understand what you're doing here when it comes to business. Because how many guys, like I've asked this before, but how many people can say they signed up to sell travel, and inside of that, they've got the ability to learn how to book travel. They have the ability to go in and just make commission off of several different types of travel. They have the ability to go and refer people to the business to make more income. They have the ability to post content to make monetization. They have the ability to sell products if they wanted to, and even going as far as doing affiliate links if they don't want to book the travel themselves. Do you get where I'm going? Do you see the value in that? That's how your mindset should be. Not, oh, well, I haven't gotten a booking yet. Okay, why not? What are you doing? All right. Now, I will tell you guys, okay, I'm not going to keep going on and on and on, but tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST, you guys are going to see me and Courtney. We're going to go in on this because I grabbed all of y'all's questions, okay? And a lot of them are about this. A lot of them are, why isn't this working? How do I get my first bookings? How do I do this? We're going to cover all of that tomorrow, so make sure you guys kind of hop on and hear what we've got to say. But what I'm trying to get to is that, the fact that you showed up to this training is amazing. The fact that you took time out of your day to learn how to be better is the path that you're on. Like this is a good start. So don't hold yourself so deeply. You now have a kind of a rough idea of a roadmap that you guys can kind of take, right? So I'm going to head over to my studio now. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. And if not, I will see you, of course, tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST. And yeah, I'll meet you guys in my studio, which is actually just the chat for you. Because last time I said that, you guys got really confused. But it's just the YouTube studio, and I will see you guys in the chat. So if you have questions or anything, go ahead and comment there for me, all right? But if not, I hope you all have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for hopping on, and I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST with Miss Courtney Palladino.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Thanks for spending these moments with me. The world is big and beautiful and full of stories, and we're just getting started. Wherever the next horizon leads, I'll meet you there. Until then, keep wondering and keep exploring. And remember, Ash knows travel.